Equity in full color. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, in his book The Little Prince, wrote, "What is essential is invisible to the eye." And the essential web of support has too long been invisible to people steeped in rugged individualism. First, let's be clear. Race matters a lot to the webs of support of children, youth, and their anchoring adults. Economics matters a lot to the webs of support of children, youth, and anchoring adults. Family structures matters a lot to the webs of support of children, youth, and anchoring adults. Educational attainment and aspirations of one's neighborhood matters a lot to the webs of support of children, youth, and anchoring adults. And these realities matter differently to each individual. People are complicated. They're far more than the abstract labels we give them, or the judgments we make, or opinions we form, most of which are incoherent or meaningless due to their dozens of various definitions and hundreds of interpretations of each definition. Through a full-color lens, we show teens the previously invisible web of support that influenced them to become who they are and explains to them how they got here right now. This sounds simple, yet if individuals don't have a coherent way to understand their life trajectory, they're likely to default to, "It's me, it's my fault, there's something wrong with me," or "It's the world's fault, and there's something wrong with the world." Equity is so much more than the distribution of resources based on perceived need to promote equal outcomes. Equity through a full-color lens shows that every teen deserves the chance to manifest the unique gifts, talents, and intelligences within them. And these young people deserve to understand the pathways to make this happen so that they can be agents of their own lives and creators of their own futures. To support equity for a child, we hold some truths to be self-evident. 1. Equity is a process, not a program. 2. Equity asks us to see the humanity within each individual child, youth, and their anchoring adults. 3. Equity is not something we can do for nor give to another human being, but it is something that we can accomplish alongside them, with the child and the youth and their anchoring adults. 4. Equity builds from what I am and from what I have and from what I have access to. It's not about molding youth to fit into our expectations. When youth see themselves in the context of the world they live in, they know how to better interact within that world and build upon the world's bounty. When youth see how to construct a better life, they can become creators of this construction. And when they comprehend the complexity of their own weaving, they're far better able to empathize with the weaving opportunities and efforts of the other young people and of their anchoring adults. The web of support describes the human condition. It offers a coherent narrative for the building blocks of life. The web of support allows a teen to place life experiences in a context that doesn't limit nor reduce them. The web of support allows a youth to actualize their potential, or at least die trying. We see diversity through the lens of crewing, an acronym that covers many of the labels and physical attributes that we routinely use to reduce a human being to a category, instead of understanding them in the larger context of their life and gathered experiences. It isn't easy to move away from seeing people in the reductionist black and white. Black and white thinking is seductively easy, It takes minimal effort to judge, fill in the story, and rank and file a person and deny them their very humanity. When you see in full color, you can better understand that a pluralistic society is possible. And you all know that a pluralistic society is one in which people don't have to give up their cultural backgrounds and identity to be members of that society. We're human beings who get to use our free will to move through the world with intention. We get to try to transcend our fates and our histories. We get to try to leap from one web to another and eventually even weave ourselves into a life of our choosing, our making, that we sustain. Life is sacred and everyone should have equal access to opportunities to try their hand at being as beautiful and making as beautiful a web as they're able. We can flourish. Heck, we might even be born for flourishing. To increase everyone's opportunity is to give them and ourselves the best opportunities to get what life, community, society, and Mother Earth allow. Justice Brandeis said that sunlight is the best disinfectant. And sunlight, through a prism of science, gets us the spectrum of Roy G. Biv, and in IYD we know the loves are in the details. It is the sunlight that can show us the way forward through a full color lens and its eternally changing kaleidoscope, creating beautiful forms with each subtle turn. I look forward to having you join us at the March WebUp-inar on equity through a full color lens.